Today we're going to be talking about 5 things you can do if your engine overheats. So the first one you want to do, if your engine's overheating, you obviously want to turn it off right away, or else you could crack your engine right in half. So the first thing you'll want to do is just pop off your radiator coolant only cap. You just want to pull that right off, and this will allow the heat to escape straight from the engine, and that's the first thing you want to do to help cool your engine down. I just want to add that you never want to remove the radiator cap ever. You can see it says 18.5 psi. If you open that, it will melt your face right off. It will fly out of there and it will melt you. It is very hot and you could seriously injure yourself. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is a very good way, not many people know this, but a very good way to actually let the heat escape from your engine is to actually take off one of your ignition coils. If you have coil and plug like I do, you'll have either 4, 6, or 8 of these. If you have a V6, you know it'll be in a V, like you have 3 on this side and 3 on this side, but for my car they're just right on the top. If you have a traditional ignition system, then you'll just want to pull all 4 of your spark plug wires right off. But for mine, you just want to get a 7mm socket and socket wrench. And we'll just get this thing right off here. I can probably go on my hand for the rest of it. So just set that bolt aside. And you just want to, oh, one more thing. Before you pull it off, their ignition systems have high voltage, so you actually want to pull this connector off before you do that. If you don't have the coil and plug, you don't have to worry about that, but you just want to pull it off first. And then just pop this right out. You'll want to do that to the other 3 or other 5 or other 7, depending on your engine. And driving like that will actually let the heat escape out of your engine, and it will cool down your vehicle. The next thing you'll want to do is actually a very simple one. You'll want to take off your oil cap. It doesn't matter if it's 5W20, 5W30, 10W30, 10W20, 10W10, 0W30, 0W20. It really doesn't matter. You'll just want to take it off because the oil actually gets very hot when it's, when your engine's overheating. So you'll just want to, should unscrew some, will unscrew 2 times, but this one only does like 3/4 of a turn. And just put that aside, and you can see the inside of the engine there. That'll actually let the heat out as well. So before you actually turn your vehicle on, after taking off the oil, radiator, this you keep on, just testing you. After you take that off and take the coil off, you actually want to pull your oil dipstick, not your transmission dipstick, that one doesn't matter. You want to pull this, and before we started this, we actually forgot to show you, but before we started this, that was glowing red. You can see the oil is like a light brown color there. It was glowing red. What that means is that the charcoal powder inside of the oil is actually having excessive friction with the metal inside of your engine. And what that'll cut, I don't know if you're familiar with charcoal, but charcoal will explode if it gets too hot. You want to back away. You just want to lightly put the dipstick back into the engine, and you want to back off for about 15 to 20 minutes. So we're going to back up now. Actually, we don't need to because it wasn't red. If it was red, we would back up. But at this point, we're fine because it's not red. And you'll also want to check your transmission for the exact same thing. And you can see, oh shit! It's red! So, we had to back up. I don't know if you saw that, but it was red, and I just had flashbacks of death. I'm sorry for the scare, but we are fine. We're just gonna need to stay away for about 15 to 20 minutes. It is very dangerous to go close to your car at this point. But yeah, we're gonna wait here for a while, for 15 to 20 minutes, and we're gonna come back, and in 15 to 20 minutes it's completely fine. We don't need to check it again. It will be fine. That only can possibly last for 15 minutes. It's been actually 17 minutes. We're gonna go check it now. So let's see.
I'm nervous. Oh, it should be fine. It should be fine.
Okay. So, okay. As you can see, it is actually the light brown color. That's what you want to see in your transmission dipstick. That's a good color. So we're gonna put that back, and we're good to move on to the next step now. Okay, so the next thing to help cool your engine will actually be removing your power steering fluid cover. If you have electric steering, then you don't really need to worry about this, but most cars have the old hydraulic steering still. So we'll just take that off, and if you want to get a look in there, you can see that the fluid is actually like a black color. That is not what you want to see in a power steering. You want to see red. In this case, red is okay. There is no charcoal powder in the power steering fluid, like there is in motor oil and transmission. So you don't have to worry about that. But I'm not going to change the fluid right now because this power steering is dying anyway. I'm getting a new pump, so that's all fine. But if you drive with the lid off, it will definitely help cool your vehicle. So one more thing to add, there's actually nitroglyceriniferin inside of the transmission. Oh, sorry, inside of the power steering fluid. It's obviously not there on my car, or else I would be gone by now. But like, not dead, but I would have ran. But if there is a clear layer on top of your transmission fluid, just run. You just want to get out of there. And only come back with a fire extinguisher, because as soon as you come back, once the clear layer has been exposed to oxygen, it does actually cause a miniature explosion, usually in about 30-40 seconds, and that is something you want to watch out for. In this case, we don't have any, thank goodness, because we don't have a fire extinguisher here. But if you see that layer, you want to run. Don't bother putting the cap back on. It'll just cause excessive fluid pressure buildup, and you'll end up with an even worse explosion, possibly even setting off the gasoline in your fuel lines. So you just want to run, get a fire extinguisher, come back, and the fire extinguisher, the chemical in there neutralizes that. If you don't get it in time, then you'll actually... at that point, you might just want to look for a new car. The last tip that we have for you, if none of those things worked, then like we put everything back together on the engine now. We closed all the lids and stuff, because what we did actually did not work out the greatest. It did cool it down, but it didn't cool it down enough to prevent overheating. So we actually tried this already, and it works amazing. Like, it is the most guaranteed thing. And what you want to do is just put your hood latch down. If you have the hydraulic hood, then you don't have to worry about that rod. But normally you would drop your hood and close it all the way, but you actually just want to drop it until the first lock. You probably heard that click there. And you just want to do that. And if you leave it like this, it'll allow more air movement under the hood, and that'll help cool your engine.